as I was coming through all of this, I soon found out that one of the biggest companies that I was with, Universal Music, it's the second part of the ugly truth. We began to research things to check on my royalties and my statements and things that of that nature, only to find out a lot of my publishing, a lot of my royalties, my mechanicals, they have all pretty much been stolen.
It sounds like you're describing a scenario where Angie Stone, a well-known artist, made a public statement about taking action to ensure she gets paid for her life's work. And shortly after, she was involved in a tragic car accident where she was the only one to die. If you're asking how likely it is for such a sequence of events to occur, it's important to keep in mind that correlations between events like these don't necessarily imply causation. In this case, while it's
one way or the other, Universal Music, you're going to have to give up my coins. And so what I'm doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure they pay me for the legacy of my life, for my children and my grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money.
It sounds like you're raising concerns about Angie Stone's passing and the events leading up to it. Here's a clearer, more concise version of what you've shared. I find the whole situation surrounding Angie Stone's passing to be highly suspicious. In recent months, she had been very vocal about exposing the issues within the music industry. For example, she had been openly talking about how D'Angelo and Mary J. Blige were used to undermine her career. It's hard to ignore the timing of all this, especially after
it was told to me that they were single-handedly put in charge of sending out letters everywhere to make people think that I was the cause of him being exposed to alcohol, to everything that could have gone wrong. And we need you to mail this out. And that person knew that it was all fabricated.
A lot has been happening lately, so let's get straight to it. We can't talk about this without recognizing Angie Stone's incredible legacy in the entertainment industry. Angie was born into a musical family. Her mother sang, and her father performed gospel and blues throughout the city. As an only child, she looked up to them and was heavily influenced by her father's passion for music. She helped form one of the first all-female hip-hop groups under Sugar Hill Records, making history in the genre. Later, she joined the trio Vertical Hold before launching her solo career. Her success was undeniable. She delivered hits like No More Rain.
A walking testimony that God has carried me all this time, because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, monies that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people that have been driving the ships. And what they've been doing is improperly representing me, improperly stealing from me, taking things in their own hand, changing and switching lanes because they knew I didn't know that part. See, I'm not an attorney. I don't know everything.
Wasn't just speaking out. She was actively fighting for the money she was owed. She went to Universal Music Group, UMG, to demand her unpaid royalties, determined to secure financial stability for her children and grandchildren. She also claimed that the company had failed to properly register her songs and that multiple class action lawsuits had been filed over mismanagement. According to Angie, she had a legal team investigating what she believed she was owed, and she warned young artists about the industry's deceptive practices. Then, just weeks later, Angie tragically passed away. While no one wants to jump to conclusions, the circumstances surrounding her death have raised eyebrows. She was the only person who died in a van accident while traveling back to Atlanta from Alabama. According to a press release, the 2021 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van she was riding in flipped over on Interstate 65 at around 4:25 a.m. on March 1st. Moments later, it was struck by a Freightliner truck driven by a Texas man. 7 others in the van were hospitalized, but Angie was pronounced dead at the scene. Given her recent efforts to expose UMG, an industry giant with a history of alleged mistreatment.
So the person let me know, and it's going on record to say that when the time comes, they will step up to the mic and let it be known that that was their assignment, to destroy my credibility by way of making me look crazy in a relationship that was innocent and pure and real. As a matter of fact, it was so real and pure, you could tell by the nourishment of the music then was just pleasant, it was real, it was pure.
According to Angie, there was a long-term plan in place, carried out over decades, to destabilize her career in the industry. She only recently started uncovering the full extent of it, which led her to believe that similar tactics may have been used against Mary J. Blige. Angie recalled that Kurt Woodley, a manager at Uptown Records, had personally asked her to mentor Mary, as he saw similarities between them. However, Angie claimed that Mary never showed appreciation for her guidance, never acknowledged her contributions, and even took a song that Angie had co-written with D'Angelo, without permission.
She don't never have to really acknowledge me, but I was surprised at the end of the day when my song that we talked about the other day, Every Day and Die, was leaked on her project. I really thought she had a lot more respect for me than that. After all, my love and my hard work and perseverance with you was genuine. So that's my secret rendition of.
Angie Stone strongly believed that Mary J. Blige was being used to undermine her career. However, she never directly accused Mary of knowingly participating in the plan. Instead, Angie pointed out that Mary seemed aware of what was happening but never spoke up or took action. This, in Angie's eyes, made Mary look untrustworthy. Angie repeatedly warned other artists to be cautious in the industry, as she had come to understand how things really worked behind the scenes.